Now, the number of people following a vegan diet has more than doubled in the last year. According to the Vegan Society, 500,000 of us are now avoiding eating meat or any other animal products.
Well, restaurants and shops have been pretty quick to embrace this trend. Health stores, things like Holland & Barrett, for example, this week becoming the latest chain to launch exclusively vegan stores. Joining us now are the dietitian Nichola Ludlam-Raine and Louise Davies from the Vegan Society. Thank you both very much for coming in. Can I start, Nichola, with you? Is it healthier?
Eating more plant-based foods is definitely a good thing because you're getting more fibre from fruits, vegetables and whole grains, and eating less meat is also good because you're more likely to be getting healthy fats from things like nuts, seeds, avocados and olive oil. Having said that though, from a health point of view, it's not necessary to cut out meat and fish altogether.
Are you a vegan?
I'm not. I think if you're going to give yourself a label, and I don't really like labels, I would say I'm a flexitarian where I do eat less meat than what I used to, but I still eat things like chicken and oily fish, but I eat lots of legumes, lentils, beans and pulses.
Louise, why are more people turning to veganism or flexitarianism, as we call it?
I think there are three reasons, really. One is that the health reasons, as Nichola's talked about. It's perceived that a vegan diet can be much healthier. The main reason really is for animals. So most people come to veganism because they're concerned about the exploitation of animals and don't want to consume them as part of their daily lives. And you don't need to anymore. It's completely unnecessary. And then the other reason is the environment. So animal agriculture is hugely damaging for our planet, and more people are starting to realise that. More research and reports are coming out that backs that up. So people are turning to a vegan diet to limit their impact on the planet.
And to what extent, as we're hearing now, people, I mean, it's great that vegans are better catered, you know, for, and they have more options, but to what extent are they just cashing in on what they see as being a trend?
I think there's probably part of that. I think, it'd be fantastic to think that all of these retailers are coming to veganism for compassionate reasons, but they're really responding to consumer demand. But either way, it's fantastic for vegans out and about. We can get vegan products. Most of restaurants will have a vegan option now. Things are really rapidly changing, so it's all really positive.
But it's difficult, though. I mean, particularly, I'm a mother of a young child. It's very difficult to get that sort of nutrition that you think you need for your children, particularly when it comes to protein and also healthy fats as well, without dairy. I mean, that's really tough.
Yeah, I think as soon as you start cutting foods out of your diet, it does make it more difficult to get all of the nutrients that we need. For example, calcium, iodine, you mentioned protein there, also B12. So some vegans do need to take a supplement. And I think that's why I would approach it, like Louise said, from an animal welfare point of view, not from a health point of view, because it is more difficult to get a really healthy, balanced diet with cutting food groups out.
But it's not really fair, though, is it, to start imposing your views, your ethical views on how you feel about the production of meat and animal welfare on a child who really does need these things because they're growing?
And I think teaching children that we should be eating for energy and for health is a really good thing. But I think what this movement might be doing is making meat eaters question where their meat is coming from. So if people can be buying free-range eggs, maybe meat that is more locally sourced, more ethically produced, then that's only a good thing.
I mean, there is, you can't deny it, there is a growing trend towards veganism, and a lot more people are open to the idea, even if they are trying to have fewer days in the week where they are eating meat and dairy. If someone is deciding to go towards that kind of diet, either fully or partially, what advice would you give them, practically?
I mean, there's a campaign out there called Meat-Free Mondays, and I think if you're choosing the dairy alternatives, make sure that they're fortified with things like calcium and vitamin D. You can get these amazing bean and lentil burgers, which are a fantastic source of fibre and protein. So that would be my advice. And the rest of the week, just try and cut down on your meat consumption, but still have your fish, 2 portions of fish a week, one of which is oily. That would be my advice.
OK.
Louise, I mean, this seems like a sort of a new way of life, though, isn't it? This is going to upend the whole kind of meat and 2 veg way that we're used to.
Well, possibly. Veganism has been around for a long time. The Vegan Society coined the term vegan back in 1944, so it feels like a really new thing. But actually, there have been lots of us living happily and healthily on a vegan diet for a long time. But yeah, certainly we are going to change the way we eat. More and more people are realising that we don't need animal products in our diet. So we will start to see more innovations, more products on the market.
And it's more culturally acceptable now, isn't it? Thank you both.